Rightio, you lot, how's it going? What a lovely day it is. It's an excellent day. I can't believe it. I'm in total and complete shock. A couple of days ago, I had a message and it said, I can't remember what it said now. I think it says something along the lines of, I've got this Hobao buggy and it doesn't work. The pull start's broken. Yeah, I feel that was it. The engine's stuck. Do you want to have a look at it? So I said, yeah, all right then. So I got in the motor car and I went on a little drive to go and pick it up. And this is what I was confronted with when I picked it up. So we got a transmitter and we got a hyper cage truggy and an engine which is in a bag. Let's go and get it on a bench and see what we've got. Right, let's clean off the old benchy wenchy. Let's see, if you're as what's the word? Not ambidextrous. And not ambidextrous, is it? Bloody ambidextrous is when you can use both hands to do stuff. If you're as curious or as excited as I am, and then you must be strange, because what we've got is a buggy. Look, this is a buggy. You can't see it very well. This is a buggy. It's one of those cage buggies, the Hobao Hyper Cage Buggy. That's what this is. And boom! Hasn't got an engine, because the engine's in a bag. Look at that! It's got a bag of engine. Air filter's definitely seen better days, so that's just perfect for what we want. There's an arsehole gasket, look. Right, so what we need to do, apparently this engine is completely stuckered. From what I've been told, it's, oh, I need a cloth, but I can't get a cloth because you're standing right in the way of the drawer. What? Well, you're always in the way. You're always in the way. You know what they say, don't you? The public are a nightmare to work with, and they are. They are. They are. Look at all the channel members. All the channel members and the subscribers, they're all sitting nicely in their rows, yeah? And you, all you lot, just standing right in the way. I can't even get to the drawer to get a rag out, and you're all there. I just don't understand you lot. This is a nice head. That come out weird, didn't it? This is a nice head. This is a nice head. We've got a Mach 28, as we knew anyway, because that's what these buggies come with. Unless it was changed, but it wasn't. The story with this, apparently, the person who owns it told me that he bought it from somebody on the internet, surfing the net, woo, one day, and he come across this, and the bloke said he used to race it, apparently. This was being raced at one point, and then all of a sudden it's not being raced anymore, because it's here on the bench with an engine in the bag. So we've got a Mach 28 head. Happy days! We've got an air filter with no filter because it's falling apart. That's what happens with them. They go crumbling and fall apart if you don't use them. And then we've got... This is all the bollocks that comes... Oh, bloody hell. Right, this is a pull start. And these pull starts are the gayest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Right, so we're going to put that over there and ignore that for a little while. So we've got a button with the glow plug still stuck in it, which is great. Absolutely great. There's a one-way bearing, even better. I'm in shock. Complete and utter shock. Right. One engine with carburetor intact, even with throttle linkage, look. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now the complaint, where... Oh, for God's sake. For the love of cheesecake. Where's the bolts gone that hold the back plate on? What am I going to do with that? What? This is just absolutely perfect. Well, we've got no bolts to hold the back plate on, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. There's definitely no bolts in there. So we might have to just super glue it on and just hope for the best. So, anyway, apparently this is absolutely stuckered. Like, it won't come undone. Apparently, every method under the sun has been attempted to get this engine unstickered. And we're also missing the bolt that holds the carburetor on, so that's great. How am I going to do that then? Eh? How am I going to do that? Who do people think I am? A bloody magic person? Whew, there's some bolts. Great. we're going to try every trick that I know under my sun to try and get this unstickered. So first thing we need to do, put it in a tub with a bit of oil and get a lot of heat on it. Once we get a lot of heat on it and some oil, I reckon we'll get it unstickered. There's only so much stuck that an engine can be in. And, well, listen. Where there's a will, there's a way, and we will do it. We will do it. Let's have a little look at the rest of this buggy, just so we know what we're looking at. I just did the best fart I've ever done in my entire life. And I was trying to reach for the record button so that you could hear it as well. But it fell out just before I managed to reach the record button. But it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. It was amazing. It literally sounded like an orchestra. Anyway, I've lit the gas fire and opened up the garage door, so we should be fine. What we got is a cage buggy. This is the orange version. My truggy is the black version. Oh look, there's some bolts there. I might have to nick them to hold that back plate on. Yeah, this is a buggy version. If you ask for my personal opinion, which none of you have, but I'll give it to you anyway, the buggy version I think looks a bit anemic. The truggy version I think looks better because it's wider and fatter. Do you know what I mean? It looks more, hey, let's go, dude. Whereas the buggy version looks a bit like, hello, I'm here to have some fun, yes. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it's a really cool thing. And yeah, the orange makes it look really good. When I bought my one, I was expecting it to be orange, but it didn't. It come black. So what can you do? Sometimes that's what happens. Things just come out black. We've got a fuel filter there, which is great. We've got a couple of Savox servos. Now the orange ones come with Savox servos, and the black ones come with whatever servos they come with. I can't remember, but it ain't Savox. It might be Hobao, which is great, perfect. Everybody wants. It's not amazingly worn, but it's definitely seen some use in its time. Whether it was actually raced or not, I don't know. I doubt that, because they don't race these cage buggies. As far as I know, they might do. If they do, put it in the comments, tell me, say, Orinoco, you're a cock. They do race these. In which case, I'll go with that. That's completely fine. Otherwise, I think it would have just been raced just with friends, you know, on a track. I don't think it would have been competitively raced. But I might be very, very wrong, because I'm wrong with everything in life. I don't know a dicky bird about anything, ever. Let me get a tub, some oil, and a heat gun. Right, I set John on the people that were standing in the way of the rag, so John sorted them out. Well done, John. And then we got I think we got some oil. Where's the oil? For the love of, where's the oil gone? Right, well, we won't use any oil then, we'll just use, oh no, do you know what I am missing? I wanted PB Blaster, or I wanted some kind of bloody, hold on, let me have a look at this thing. Oh, for the love of, where in the world have I put all that? This is unbelievable. I've got a box full of all my tins of PB Blaster, WD-40, all that stuff. And it's all, well, I don't know where it is. So what we'll do is we'll just ignore that, and we'll have after-run oil instead, which is not great, because it's not going to be very penetrative. But really I need let me go and have a look, bloody hell. Let me go and have a look there, John. Right, we're going to do this without it. Oh, what I have got though, God, last minute discovery. What I have got over here is WD-40. I'm going to use WD-40 just to annoy some of you lot. Every time I use WD-40 as an oil, everyone says, that's not oil, it's water displacement. That's what it is, it just gets rid of water, it's not oil. But it is oil, alright? It drives out moisture, as all oil does. All oil will push water away. And it loosens rusted parts, frees sticky mechanisms. It's oil, my friends. And it also has many other uses. You can clean with it, you can do all sorts with it. And it smells good. So we're using it. I wanted a what's it called? I wanted a penetrating fluid is what I did want, but I don't know where they are, so I've got different types. I've got PB Blaster, I've got all different makes and models of penetrating fluid, but they're in a box somewhere. Right, heat gun time. John, what have you done with the heat gun, John? Heat gun's over here. Thank you very much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up good and proper. And the point of that is the outside of the block, that should expand and that should ungrab the piston, and also the liner should expand a little bit as well. If it's not the piston and liner which is stuck, and then it's the, if it's the crank or the conrod or something like that which has become seized, and then it'll also help that. The thing is here, I haven't got a vise. Usually, because for those of you who don't know, I moved house recently and I'm still setting everything up. I haven't got anything. In my old garage, I had vices and everything set up for this purpose, so I could just grab hold of the flywheel and we could turn it gradually while we're heating it. I haven't got any of those luxuries at the moment. All I've literally got is a few things like this, and I can't even find my welding gauntlets to hold on to it once it's got hot, so I'm going to have to go and get them from somewhere. Oh, I do know where they are. Where are you? Oh, that's not the one I want. There we go, there's one of them. There's the other one. Right, so I've got some gauntlets. So once it gets really hot, I can hold on to it. But I haven't got anything else, so we're going to heat this up good and proper. If this little heat gun doesn't go hot enough, I've got a propane torch, and I've also got an electric heat gun, like a mains heat gun, so I reckon we'll be alright though. It can't be that bad. Whoa! So, but I don't know what I'm going to do about the bolts to hold the back plate on once it's unstuck. We can't start it without them, and I don't know what I'm going to do without the bolts, without the carburetor bolt. I haven't got any of them, so we might have to go and order some. Go down. I can't even just go down the shop these days because they've all shut, so you have to go on the net. But I don't know. We'll work something out. I don't know what we're going to work out, but we'll work something out. Right, I've given that a good old heat up now. Let's just see. I might have to get a pair of mole grips out. Have I got a pair of mole grips? Mole grips, where are you? Right, we'll get a pair of these on. I should have put them on the flywheel to start with, but I didn't. Alright, I didn't. So, stop being a bit funny about it and we'll sort it out. Don't worry. It's fine. Now, the idea is that all that oil that I put in there is gonna soak through. As it gets hot, it should suck it past, whatever it is it's whatever it is that's keeping it hot, stuck. These mole grips are broken, by the way, which is why I'm having so much trouble. They've fallen apart. Right. Now we got that on the flywheel. Let's get my welding gauntlets. Make sure I get loads of oil all over the gauntlets so that the next time I do any welding, they catch on fire and smoke a lot, which is perfect. Right, here we go. Right, okay, so that's one unstuck engine now. Still very stiff. It's extremely hot. So we need to hold on with the mole grips again, which are broken. Falling apart. I know. I've had them 20 years. Well, probably more than that, because I got them when I was still in school. Because I used to take apart like real cars and mowers and stuff when I was a kid. And mend them, get them going. These are bloody ridiculous. Mend them and get them going, And yeah, so mum and dad and all that used to buy me loads of tools and stuff. So, right, so we got that piston is now, that's going up and down. It's not the best though. Oh, it seems to have got stuck again. So it must have a sticky point. It must have a sticky point. So what we'll do is we'll put these mold grips on properly. And then we can, if I take that carburetor off, because there's nothing holding it on anyway. Or maybe there is. Alright, we won't need a bolt for that carburetor because it's stuck on. What is that? Who put that on there? Right. What you're watching, by the way, is the world's most clumsiest person try to unseize a nitro engine. That is what you're watching, and I think it's you know, I think it's going to be a hit, to be honest. You know, what you're watching, Margaret? I'm watching the world's clumsiest person try to unseize a nitro engine. Oh, that goes down well. I like that. Yeah, I think I'll watch that. You know, we've got a lot of smoke coming out of there now. Oh, we did have. There we go. You see that smoke? I don't know if you can see it. So it's definitely nice and hot. Oh, it's getting a lot easier now. Look at that. That's perfect. There we go. Just got to make it do a revolution, because when it gets up towards its pinch, that's when it gets stuck. That could just be it's just got quite a lot of pinch. That could be what it is. I don't think that is what it is. But now, I was going to say, you know, if it's true that this engine has been raced, then it's probably a case of it just seized up while it was running. It hasn't, because the bloke who owns it seems to reckon that it's just sat around and seized up. But I reckon if it's been raced, I would like to say that it's probably seized up while it was running, and that's why. But I don't know. We don't know the true history of it. So, you know, can I get it? I can't get it to do a full revolution at the moment. I need it to go that way. There we go. And it's at the top now. It's at TDC, and it come back down. There we go, and it come back down. And is it going to go back up again? Oh, I can't grip it with my hand. I can't get a grip on it. Put oil all over that flywheel probably. Can't get a grip on it. There we go. Past TDC. Back down again. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to call that good. So what I'm going to do, stick a bit of after run oil. Stick a bit of after run oil down there on the back side of that piston. That'll oil that up nicely. Put that up and down a few times. There's like puffs of smoke coming out. Don't know if you can see the puffs of smoke coming out. What a lovely day! And we can just do that. Oil it up nicely. Got loads of oil in there now. Great. So what I've got to do, I've got to try and find, I don't know where I'm going to find the bloody bolts to put in there. Where do people think I'm going to get bolts from to put in there? Eh? You think I'm bloody magic man? I'm a magician. I'm not a magician. Got batteries though. They'll come in handy. Right. Don't need them anymore. Well, it is still quite hot, but we'll ignore that. Right. Well, where am I going to find? Well, before we do any of that, I wonder if we need to look at this. Look at this bloody mumbo jumbo. How am I going to put this back together? It's missing half of it, isn't it? What is that? That's a lid for a bloody fuel tank. Did that come with it? I don't think it did it? I just don't know what to do here. I can't remember, because I had my pull start on my one went a bit dicky. I think it did it. No, it wasn't. Was it? Was it another one that I acquired somewhere? And I had to rewind a pull start. But I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of plastic that goes on the top of it to hold it all in place. I'm not sure though. Hang about. We're missing bits. We're missing bits, John. We need the shaft. We're missing. That's why the back plate's off, because we're missing the half of the lever. So I can, oh, see the shaft's here. That's alright. Stop panicking. Stop panicking. Why are you worrying? So that goes in there, doesn't it? Yeah. Why have we got a one-way bearing then? That goes in there. That winds up on there. Oh, that's alright. We have got everything we need. Okay, we'll ignore that then. I don't know why it's taken off. Apparently, it weren't the bloke who owns this who took it apart. But he could just be telling me that just so that it doesn't fall back on him. But he apparently it was the person he bought it from already took it apart. And he must have been some kind of cock because, well, who does this to a pull start when you take an engine apart? I mean, come on. Eh? What's the matter with you? Are you quite alright with yourself if you do this to a pull start? Probably not. Right, I'm going to wind this up and probably make a mess, give up and go and have a pint of Guinness. Well, I don't normally mess with pull starts. I can't stand them. And if this is my car, that pull start would have gone straight in the bin and I would have just suffered it and bought another one. They're bastards. And this spring is bending now. The end of it's bent off. So we might be on the verge of just binning this off altogether and just saying, see you later, pull start. But I'm going to keep persevering since this isn't mine and I like to do my absolute best for other people. I'm going to keep trying. We got it in there, but I just can't get that last little bit. I know some of you are okay with pull starts and you can do them, you know, which is fine. But I just don't like them, and I normally just don't bother wasting my time with them. But we'll get it. Probably not, but we'll try. Because what else can you do? Pull starts are expensive, so this needs to be done really. But now that end of that spring's bent, we've got a bit of an issue. And I'm a bit peckish. I might go and have some macaroni cheese. Well, I'm still at it. Need two hands really, but my wife is the worst person to ask because if it doesn't benefit her, she's not interested in anything. So I'm going to give it another couple of goes, and then after that I'm just going to bin it off, and we'll have to get a new one for it because I'm wasting far too much time trying to do this. Wasting far too much time messing around with this pull start. Hate pull starts. I mean, they're good. I prefer them as a method for starting. Much prefer them as a method for starting. But when it comes to repairing them, I'm just not interested. Not interested in the slightest. You know, there becomes a point where you just think to yourself, I've had enough. I've had enough, and that is that. So I'm going to give it another 10 minutes of trying, and then after that, see you later, alligator. Well, we've got a new plan. So this one, I need to get a new pull start for it. There's a bit missing. There should be a little bit of plastic that holds that spring in, but we haven't got that anyway. So I did try to make it work without it, but it ain't going to happen. So the plan now is to put this engine, which I had laying around. It's complete. Does it run? I have no idea. I've never tried to start it, and all the time I've had it for a few years. I think one of the viewers, one of you lot, sent it to me. So I said, look, I've got an engine. I can stick it in, and we'll see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. It's a 21. That was a 28, but he wanted to go down in size anyway. Let's put it in, and we'll do two things. Will it fit? I have no idea. But also, will this engine even run? I have no idea. Hopefully, because this engine's got a mount on it already, look. So I'm hoping that this mount will fit on there, and I can just use those screws that are in there, and I can literally just mount it in, and I won't have to fanny around with the mounts that are on this Mac 28, which will fit on there, but we'll see. We shall see you there, Johnny boy. Right. That means we've got a lot of stuff on the table here, which we don't need on the table. So we can get rid of it. I just don't know what is going on in my life. I just don't bloody know. Right. Now we got a bit better. Let's get rid of the hammer. We don't need the hammer. And we don't need 64.79 million screwdrivers. We don't need that. Yep, they can all go in the drawer. Lovely. See you later. Gator. Tipex. Use that later on. Right, so that can go there, that can go there. Bloody hell, we don't need the gauntlets either. Whew. Well, we might do. We might do. Right. Bling. One engine. One buggy. Is this buggy going to fit on this engine? I don't know. Let's go on there. We might have to take that mount off. If I take that mount off, are we going to use this hyper exhaust, or are we going to use the exhaust which is on this engine already? That's a question, that is. I know it's a question. Why are you telling me it's a question? Because I just thought I'd mention that it is a question. Right, well, you didn't have to mention it was a question. I know, but I felt like mentioning it and it was a question. Is that alright with you? No, not really. Well, that's not my problem. I know that. Right. So we'll just take it off then. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Let's just take it off. I know. There we go. Right, so we haven't got that exhaust on it anymore. We use the exhaust which is already there. Now, with this, how does that go? That needs to marry up to that bell. You know what? That will fit. But all I've got to do is get that there, undo that little jam sandwich. I need a different one. John, I need a different one. Is that alright with you? Well, it's going to have to be alright because we haven't got a lot of choice, I'm afraid to say. No, it's always the last one you pick up, isn't it? It's always the last one you pick up. Here's the one that... Oh my God, it's not even the right one! John, are you sure? What are you doing to me? That one's snapped off. It's got to be that one. But it's not. What is that? That's 2.5. Somebody's put them in the wrong order. Who put them in the wrong order? Was it you? Why did you put them in the wrong order? Why didn't you say anything? Don't know what's the matter with you. Right, so let's... Is it going to be 2 or 2.5? 2.5. Let's take this old man off. Oh, well, I would say let's take this old man off. But someone has used a bit of thread lock on these, which is causing me a bit of trouble. So we'll have to heat them up, and if that don't work, we'll have to get a bit of a blowtorch out, torch them off. Do you know what? I've just come up with a different plan. Instead of trying to use these screws, what I might do is undo these 4 bolts here, take this and this off, and then hopefully that will go through these holes here. And I know you're all shouting at the screen, of course they will, that's what you're supposed to do. Well, I didn't want to do that, but bloody hell. Why is everybody using thread lock these days? I mean, nobody ever used to use thread lock, now everyone's bloody using it. There we go, there's one. Jesus Christ almighty, what are you doing to me? Right, let's try this. That's not a 2.5. That's a 2.5. Right, there we go. That's better. Right, so we got that one. God, Jesus. Whew. That's proper, that is. I think it's killed me Allen key. That's proper there, mate. God. Let's go and see what we got over here. What have we got over here? Right. So, let's put all these back because we don't need these anymore. Is that snapped off? One of them snapped off, look. I do need to buy myself a new set of Allen keys because they've taken a beating over the years. Various stuff here, there and everywhere. What size is this one? 3mm. I don't want 3. I want 2. 2.5 is what I need. So we can put that in there. Now we should. There we go. Proper socket. And we've managed to undo that one. There we go. Now they're getting undone. That's exactly what we need. I didn't really want to be fanning around with any rounded heads today. Oh, I didn't. I tell you, I didn't. Did you? Well, that's your problem, if you did, but I didn't. Alright? Now we can get these off. If I can get these plates off, we can put that on there. Have a lovely day. Go and have... I want you to tell me, how do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce scone or scone? Eh? Which one do you do? Scone or scone? I suppose it depends how posh you are. Are you posh or not posh? It's a scone or it's a scone. I know you're all shouting at the screen now. What do you say? Well, I say scone. Because it's got an E on the end of it, hasn't it? Has it got an E on the end? If it's got an E on the end of it, you have to pronounce it scone. Because then it's got an E on the end. That's the way I see it, anyway. That's the way I see it, dear John. Right. That goes like that. Oh, yes. This was made for it. Do you know that? This was absolutely made for this. When they made this engine with this engine mount, they knew that I was going to come along and have to put it inside a Hobao hyper cage buggy. So they made it so that it fits. You know? Well done, whoever it was that made this engine and engine mount. I'm excited for this. I am the most excited person ever to walk the earth. I am the most excited person ever to walk Mars. Right, so that can go like that, and then we do that one up. We do that one up, like that. We'll do them up nice and tight in a minute. We've got to make sure that the mesh is alright, and we need to make sure... Oh, I think that's just right, don't you? But just to make sure, we will loosen it slightly, because sometimes just right, you know, that's, you know, we can't have it just right. We've got to have it diabolical. It's a bit better. About there, I'd say. About there, John. It's alright. Do that one there like that. Do that one there like that. Now what we got? Oh, it might be a tad too tight, but we'll ignore it for now. And we'll just do them up like that. That's probably not awful. That's not awful. It's not the end of the world. Some of you will probably be having heart attacks about that, but I'm going to say that's alright. What is that? That's 2 mil. Right, so we have got... Oh, we've got to put the exhaust on. Where's the exhaust gone? The exhaust is over here. That goes like that. This is a different style to the one that was on this engine. Does this engine even... Oh, it does. Oh, oh. Oh, no. You're joking. What's going on here? Are you serious? Didn't you check this before you did it? No, I didn't. Why? Wind that in. Wind that in. It's a bit sticky, but I reckon if we warm that up, let's try it now. We'll warm that up. Hopefully, if we warm the pull start up, it won't be sticky anymore. Otherwise, I've got to take that engine off and work out why that pull start's sticking. But sometimes, if you warm them up, they're just a bit, you know, a bit gunked up with certain oil and grease and whatever else. If you warm them up, all right, because all that oil and grease gets slippery again. It's a funny thing with oil. When it's oil, it's slippery, but when it sits around and gets burned and whatever, it becomes sticky. Two different things out of the same thing. But it's just the way it is. Let's see if that's made any difference. Not really. Yeah, that's it. It's come to life now, kind of. Might be one of them. If we can get it to run, it might be alright. So I think we're going to take the risk and we're going to put the exhaust on. We'll take the risk and we'll put the exhaust on. And then we'll see what happens. That can go up through there. No! Don't tell me it's not going to fit. Is it going to fit? Oh, it does fit. I thought it wasn't going to fit then for a minute. Right, here we go. I've got one of you lot in America wants me to try and arrange bloody one of these brand spanking new. Where's that spring gone? One of these brand spanking new from a shop here, because apparently you can't buy these in America. One of you wants me to try and arrange to get it posted to America, but the trouble is nowhere will post anything to America because of Trump, Donald Trump, and he's put them tariffs around, didn't he? Or whatever he's done. You call them tariffs, we call them taxes, but you call them tariffs. No one will post to America, and I thought, right, well, I'll go and buy a buggy and I'll post it to you. I'll post it to this bloke myself. It's like £200. £200 to send a buggy to America because of what he's done. So yeah, it's not looking good for that kind of thing. Right, that goes on the carburation unit. That goes on the exhaust unit. That goes like that. We'll do that up so that we don't lose the 3 mil. What do we need? Do we need 2 or is it 2? Right. Let's warm this engine up good and proper. We'll put a bit of nitro in that tank. Where's the nitro fuel gone? What have we got in here? Oh, we just got a bit of, oh, what that is in there. I think, oh yeah, it looks like Tornado. So we've got 25% Tornado fuel going in. Does it prime? No, that's not the right one. Where's the... Oh, we haven't got a throttle cable, have we? We haven't got a throttle linkage. That's right, I didn't think about that. Worst comes to the worst, we'll just have to change the carburetors over. But the carburetor that's on the Mach 28 won't be that different to the one that's on the on this engine anyway. Oh no, the carb's stuck. Carb's stuck. Let's see if we can unstick it. Alright, let's warm that carburetor up. For those of you that can't see what's going on, which is all of you because it was run the wrong way, this is a slidey carb, but it's stuck. It won't move. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a bit of heat down there, and it might warm up whatever it is was sticking it, and unstick it. It might not, but then again it might. There we go. It went one way. Now I've just got to get a little screwdriver. Get it to go the other. There we go. That's it. That's free now. That's free now. Look at that. Kind of. I'll put some more heat down there. And a load of oil as well in a minute. Where's my WD-40? That'll annoy everybody. Let's use a bit of WD-40. Let's squeeze that in there a little bit. Spray a bit of WD-40 in there. That'll annoy a lot of you. Let me get... Don't need that. That's what I want. Little pointed screwdriver thing. We can get down in there like that, and we can push that up and down. Oh yes. Look at that. Oh, it's like brand new. It's like brand new again. Cool. When they made this, they knew that this was going to happen. That's why they made it like they did. You know, they made it the best car, the best engine anybody's ever seen for this purpose. Right, now we can see whether it's going to prime. Are you watching? Got me to zoom in a little bit. Right, is it going to prime? Ready? Ah, like a baby. The baby's prime? I don't know. Here we go. Warm it up. Always warm them up. Well, there's no foam in that filter anyway. There's no foam in there, so I've got to put a bit of foam in there, or put a different filter on it, one or the other. We don't know which one yet. And then we'll fire it up. Have we got a battery in here? Oh no, because the batteries are over there. Is there batteries in there? No. So I'm going to have to go and find some AA batteries to stick in this transmitter. And then we can go and give it a test drive. Engine transplant. Engine transplant Tuesday is what it is. This is going to be great. This is going to be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And the same goes for you. You've never seen anything so good in all your life. I'm telling you that now. This is going to be the best thing in the world. You watch. This is going to fire up like a dream. And it's just going to run like, you know, like it's brand spanking new. Let's use this glow starter because I've not used it in ages, so it's probably going to be flat. Ready? Here we go. Oh. Pull start's not very good. Oh, nearly. Oh, so close yet so far. A little bit more primage. Something tells me that that's not working the best. We might have to adjust that carburetor a little bit. Where's that screwdriver? Let's bring it out. We're bringing the low end out to where it's more or less flush with the housing. The high end, we'll leave that where it is for now. So I know now that it's a fuel delivery problem, because when I was blowing down that pipe, it was running fine. When I put the pipe on there, on the exhaust, it wasn't. So we got a fueling problem. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take off this little filter. It's got one of these stupid little filters on. All the Hobaos come with these. They love a filter in Hobao land. You've only got to ask a Hobaoist, and he'll tell you, yeah, we love a filter. They don't do anything. They do in real life, you know, on real cars and things. They do filtering stuff, but these ones that people like to put on nitro cars, they don't really do a lot. In fact, if anything, they cause a bit more of a hindrance because they lower the pressure, because it's another point of resistance, and they lower the pressure. But let's see what's inside. Hopefully it's just a bit blocked. No, there's nothing in there at all. That's as clear as anything, look. I think we'll blow down it anyway. There's that little mesh. I could just take the mesh out. Let's take the mesh out and we'll run it with nothing. So it's not actually going to be doing any filtering, but it just means that I haven't got to put a new bit of line on it. Because if I wanted to run it without the filter, I've got to put a new bit of line on. But if I put that like that, and that like that, there we go. Now I can run it without putting a new bit of fuel pipe on. Right, that's primed. Well, kind of. Yep, that's primed. Right. Still don't like it very much, does it? I'm richening that up a little bit. The high speed is now flush with the housing, the same as the low. something to do with the glow plug. I don't think it is. It's definitely a fuel problem. Ha! Now it went in. I think it's too flooded now. Too flooded there, John. Right, I haven't done anything particulars. All I've done is made sure we definitely got a fuel flow. I've taken the glow plug out, made sure that is working properly, which it is. This engine's been sitting around. I don't know how long it was sitting around before I got it, but when I got it, it sat in my garage on a shelf for, I don't know, maybe 5 years. So it's going to need a little bit of running. Do you know what I mean? Especially since the carburetor was stuck. I could take the carburetor off and clean it, but I'm not going to. If you think I'm going to do that, you got another thing coming, that's for sure. Anyway, let's, where are we? Glow starter. And let's see what happens now. Oh, nearly went. I might have to put some batteries in it so I can keep the throttle open with a bit of trim, because it's difficult trying to hold the throttle open at the same time. So it's obviously running, and I know it sounds really lean when it revs, but the reason why it sounds lean like it does when it revs is because I'm pretty sure there's a blockage there. It's not anything to do with the tune. You lot are all bonkers about tuning, you know, oh it needs to be, you know, it's far too lean, it needs to be tuned and all this other bollocks that you all talk about. But the carburetor's not very healthy, so that's why it sounds like that. Running it will help it no end. Help it massively. Running it will, because it'll all just go through and it'll, you know. Open up the door a little bit, let a bit of fresh air in. Right, let's fire it up one more time. Call that good, really. It needs to be ran. bit of a leak. If it don't work like that, just put your thumb over the intake. Well, it runs. Right, let's get in the old trusty nut and bolt drawer and find, if I can find a bolt that will go straight into that servo, so I haven't got to get a nut to go on the other end of it. We need a screw, like a fat short screw, like a fat dumpy one. Oh, that might work. That might be a bit big actually. Is that going to be a bit big, or is that going to be okay? I think that's a bit big, so we won't go that quite that big, just a little bit big. All right. I'm pleased we got it to run though. Some of you won't be happy with the way that I've done it, but I did do it, and that's what counts. It worked. So that looks like that might be the right one. Where was it before? It looks like it was on the outermost one before, so we'll put it on the same one again, like that. There we go. So now we got throttle servo, and we get full throttle all the way there, and that's closed. Great. So now I haven't got to hold the throttle. I've got to put batteries in the receiver, assuming we've got a receiver. We must have, because we've got an aerial in the aerial tube, and I've got to find some batteries to go in the transmitter, but that won't be today. There'll be another video on all of that. So there we go. One hyper cage truggy. It's now had a bit of an engine transplant with a donor engine that was from somewhere and something else. I haven't got a clue what it's all about. Needs an air filter on it. The air filter that was on that's no good because it's got no foam in it, and the filter that come with the Mach 28 is also not a lot of cop, because that's what it looks like. So in the next video of this cage truggy, we'll put some batteries in that transmitter, batteries in the receiver, which I've got over here that came with it, which I probably won't. I'll use these for testing, but I probably won't use it if I go on a test drive, that is. An air filter. The pull stocks come to life, so fingers crossed that stays lifelike. We'll check all the nuts and bolts, and then we'll eventually go for a test drive and see what that, whatever that .21 engine actually performs like. And that might be that, or you never know, the bloke who owns this might turn around and go, "Look, Orinoco, I've got a brand spanking new engine for you to put in this buggy," in which case we'll be doing another engine transplant with a brand spanking new engine. I think he's trying to make a decision what he wants to do. I've put that engine in there just for fun. If he wants it, he can have it, but it's in there just for fun, so we can see if it'll work alright. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Remember, be nice to people. Don't take people's kindness and generosity for granted, because that makes you a weaker person than them. A lot of people think because somebody's kind, generous, they're weak. Not true. They're stronger than everyone else. People who think of themselves all the time, they're the weak ones. Remember that, my friends. I'll see you later. All the best.